They've survived strokes, disability, menopause, aging parents, and each other. One is 73, one is 52. They live half a country apart, and they probably shouldn't get along this well. This is Sally Ross Brown and Jen Brockman, and this is I Kept Not Dying, their podcast about surviving life.
Right. How are you, Miss Sally?
Well, I'm doing pretty good today.
Good.
I, I will tell you that um, I'm a little flummoxed, for the lack of a better word, over the election. Because I know it's coming, and I can't, and I just am overwhelmed with how crazy I get over that stuff. So that being said, quit laughing at me. That being said, um, other than that, I'm fine.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm agreeing with you.
Oh,
I
okay.
It made me think about a conversation I had with my friend the other day who said that she quit voting and she just stepped away from all of it because it got to be too much. Is
Yeah.
everything all right?
It was somebody called me that I don't want to
Oh,
talk
okay.
to.
Okay. No
So
problem.
I didn't realize that was going to happen, but I guess apparently it does.
Yeah, that's all right. I will either edit it out or we'll leave it in here because people need to see what really happens in life.
Okay, there you go. Yep.
Anyway, what I was saying is she said she just stepped back and out of everything because she kind of felt like she had no control over any of it. And I was like, well, I used to feel that way too. And not that this is a political podcast by any means, but a lot of this stuff does affect us because of like our health stuff, you know.
Yep. Yep.
Anyway, so I was like, well, we had, when we had a local election, it's been several years ago now, um, about like abortion rights and women's health care rights. Overwhelmingly, I mean, like we're a red state, but overwhelmingly, the people locally voted for rights to those things. So I said, I think it does matter that we vote. So anyway,
Yeah.
I was laughing because I completely understand that. Tend to get caught up in it too. And that's like a total 180 for me. I didn't used to be that way.
Yeah. Well, I know. I don't know that I was either, but I sure am now.
Yeah,
Because
me
I'm
too.
pissed. I'm pissed about a lot of it.
I am too. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So on today's podcast, I wanted to get into um letting you tell us about your experience with your stroke because I'm sure that everybody's stroke experiences are different because everybody is different and your circumstances are different. But I am really curious, like, even just on a friend to friend basis, I have not really heard the story of what happened.
oh, you haven't? Oh,
I don't
okay.
I don't believe we've ever really talked about it. So I'm just really curious what your experience was, like when you had the stroke, leading up to the stroke, what you remember or what you don't remember.
Well, okay. So I woke up, and it was like 12 o'clock. Um, and I woke up, and I I I know I couldn't really sense anything, except I felt my hand, but I thought it was asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that that was what was wrong with it. So I kind of was shaking it, trying to wake it up. And for some reason, I stood up. I have no idea why, but I stood up. And when I stood up, I fell over.
Mm,
And it was a good thing, because then it woke Vicky up.
right.
And she came around the corner and she said, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, but help me get back in the bed. So we spent, it seems like we must have spent 20 minutes with her trying to help me get back in the bed.
Mm.
So we got in and we were talking, or she was talking, and I couldn't talk.
Oh.
It was so weird. So she went and got, Julie is, one of the nice things about having a daughter is sometimes she can tell when you need help.
Mm-hmm.
So she went and got Julie, and I was completely oblivious to it. And then I kind of vaguely remember everybody showing up and them putting me in a bed and hauling me away to and I remember going past the things, like one of the things I remember is driving past one of our friends' house
Mm-hmm.
and thinking, "Oh, I wonder if I'll see him again."
Oh.
It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and I do kind of remember, looking at different things when I was in the drive going to. I don't remember all of it, but I remember little pieces of it. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember getting into the hospital, and I kind of remember a lot of people sort of having a a big. I mean, I could tell that they thought something was really wrong with me,
Right.
but I had no idea what. And then the next thing I knew was the next day.
Oh.
I don't remember any of the stuff that happened after that. I don't remember, because my kids came and everybody was there and they were all waiting around, and I was just sleeping.
Mm.
And so it took a while for me to wake up, and I mean, it was kind of a big deal. They were all standing around waiting for me to wake up. And
Yeah.
I think, I don't think I woke up for like 20 or 30 minutes or so. So everybody was all freaked out. I kind of vaguely remember that. And so
Yeah.
that was kind of, and then I spent the next like 5 or 6 days in the hospital. I don't really remember. And I don't really remember too much except how weird I felt, and when I realized that I wasn't gonna I couldn't talk.
Mm.
And not talking is not my long suit. So I
Yeah.
could and people would say stuff to me and I would say things like vegetables. I mean, it was just crazy, and that was real hard, and I don't know when that really began to go away. But by the time I left the hospital, I was at least talking a little bit, you know,
Okay.
and so that was one of the things that I remembered was like coming home and walking um, after my stroke, and everybody looking at me, looking oddly at me, trying to figure out, is she really okay, or is she
Yeah.
batshit crazy, or what's the deal, And they still kind of look at me that way a lot of the time. So
Well, I
I'm
think
just
they looked at
saying,
you that way before.
oh, well, there could be something to be said for that.
So, so I want to just clarify a couple of things for the people who are listening or watching who don't know your history. So, your daughter is a nurse, right? She
That
and
is
and not
correct.
just like any nurse. She's been doing this for a long time, and
Yeah, she's
she
she's a
knows.
real, yeah, she knows
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. I was gonna say she knows her shit.
Yeah,
So when you said earlier that Vicky's your wife, she went and got your daughter because you all live like on a compound together with your whole family.
right.
Um,
Yeah,
so she went and got your daughter to come up and sit because Vicky was probably like, shit, something's going on. I don't know if she had a stroke or what, but come see.
yeah.
Um, yeah. And so eventually they got you to the hospital. Did you ride in an ambulance then?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They called the ambulance. The ambulance came, and um, you know, and I remember I kind of remember them trying to. For some reason, they were changing my shirt. I have no idea what that was about,
Oh,
but
interesting.
I mean, I'm just weird little things that I kind of vaguely remember.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was
So,
weird.
was there anything that indicated you might have a stroke or that you were at risk for a stroke leading up
Not
to this?
Nope, not. I mean, I'd never even considered it.
Wow.
Mm,
Okay. Okay. Well,
So
that's, I don't know if that's worse or better than thinking that you might have one. I don't know. That's kind of, it's just scary either way, I guess.
yeah, and I worry about it now. Every now and then, I can kind of get into it and think, "Oh my God, I'm going to have another stroke," but I don't. I haven't. So I guess
Is
if
that a feeling, is that a feeling in your body or just a thought that goes through your head?
well, I think it's just a thought that goes through my head.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
um,
Yep, the anxiety of possibly having another one.
Yeah, but and I don't think about it often, but every
Yeah.
now and then I will. If I don't feel good, I think,
Yeah.
oh my God, here it comes. And I walk around like the other day I noticed that I said to Vicky, now Vicky, listen, if I get sick and I die, I want you to publish my book I want you to publish my book. And she was like, okay, all right. So that stuff's kind of weird, but and I'm always giving her instructions about I want you to call this person and call that person and Vicky like, yeah, okay, all right.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, it shows up.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. So, one of the things too that people may not realize, if they listen to our original episode, they'll know this, but you also have cerebral palsy, right?
I do, right.
And you've had that for most of your life,
Forever,
all of your
ever,
life?
all
Yeah.
my life, yeah, forever.
What is different for you? What is different between having that and having the stroke? Because it both of those things affected how your body works, right?
Right. Well, when I had my stroke, um, it's like everything else just sort of faded away. I didn't think about it anymore because I was so focused on am I going to be able to talk and am I going to be able to walk and can my left hand doesn't work. See, it's kind of weird. See how it is? It's
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
real
weird
stiff.
like that.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden I just kind of went to that and I still had things like I have a walker that I use a lot of times when I go out,
Hmm.
you know, and a lot of times the reason I carry it is because, and this sounds crazy, but I can't really carry a purse. I mean,
Okay.
think about it. I can't really do that. So one of the reasons I take my walker is so I can put shit on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of part of my thing. And I've done it for so long that I just that just seems like the way to do. And sometimes I keep thinking it'll get better, and sometimes I think it won't.
Right.
And sometimes I care, but mostly I don't. I'm just.
So one of the things that I have noticed the most as a difference between your stroke symptoms and your cerebral palsy symptoms is your ability to um, to find the right word. You didn't have any trouble talking before the stroke, and now you do a little bit still.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
and it drives me crazy, because it's just the oddest feeling because in my head I know exactly what I'm thinking, and 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 I always think that I'm smarter than most of the people that I'm talking to. So I just
You are.
assume that they should know what I mean. They
Mhm.
should just know it, and they don't. You know, and
Right.
it's the weirdest thing. And sometimes it'll be things like yesterday I was trying to tell Vicky, what was it? It was something about oh, I was trying to tell her that we needed a new wash rag, a new like one of those things that you use for loofahs when you know what I'm talking about.
I think
You
so. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I was trying to explain to her that we needed to get more of those,
Mhm.
and it just wasn't coming. I could not get her to say it, I mean, I
Yeah.
couldn't get her and so there's things like that that drive me crazy
I
because I'm
bet.
I'm trying to really talk, and it happens worse when I'm tired. Like I'll be really good today till about 11 o'clock, and then I start sort of waning a little.
Yeah. So I wanted to. You were talking about it happens worse when you're tired, and it's funny. That makes me think. I've not had a stroke, but I have um, neurodivergence. I have ADHD. I probably got autism, and I have the same kind of thing that happens when I'm tired. I have not slept well all week, and I was talking with my mom yesterday. My mom lives with me, um, and I was trying to say something. I'm like, there's a word, and I can't get it. I can't get it out of my head and out of my mouth to say it, and I'm like, my brain is like Swiss cheese right now. Sometimes
Uh-huh.
I'm in the meat of the cheese, and sometimes there's just a big old hole there. And mom was like, you have not slept very well all week. That's why you're not able to like talk. And I was like, okay, at least somebody gets that. But one of the things that I've noticed with you too, and you don't do this every time that we talk, but we've been chatting a lot lately.
A lot,
Um,
yeah.
but I did notice it in one of the videos that you made for TikTok, and you've told me about this happening to you too. Um, you will be trying to you think that you're saying one word, but a completely different word comes out.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't remember what it was, but it was in one of the videos. I think you were trying to say chicken, and you said pajamas, or so, I don't know. It was
Something
something
weird
like
like
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember you telling me that one of the first times we started talking after you had the stroke. And I was like, that's a funny thing. I wonder what causes that. I am super curious about how our brains work, how the wiring works and all of that, because I'm neurodivergent, because my whole family is that way. So now I'm
It
even
is.
more curious what happens in the brain after a stroke.
Yeah. Well, and it's the thing about it is that there's so much that people know about a stroke, you
Hmm.
know. Uh, and I was asking Julie's my daughter, I was asking her the other day, I said, what kind of stroke did I have? And she said, I had an thoracic stroke. And she was kind
Okay.
of explaining to me what that meant. And so a lot of that stuff I will ask her 2 or 3 times because I forget.
Yeah.
And that's a really weird thing because I'll be in the middle of my conversation and go, "Oh shoot, we've already talked about this once." It's in my head and I've just got to keep talking till it comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird like that.
Yeah. So I don't want to go super long on this because I don't want to wear you out. But is there anything else that you want people to know about having survived a stroke?
Well, here's the thing. I had, first of all, I really didn't have much of an idea about what was going to happen when I couldn't talk or couldn't, wasn't going to be the same. Um, but one of the things is that I want everybody to know and everybody to understand, and this is the weirdest part, is that in your head, in my personal head, that's always been my head, I've been able to think correctly. I mean, I don't, even though I don't have any like real um, uneasy things about talking or anything like that,
Right.
or I didn't used to. But now I can be saying something and I'm thinking I'm saying exactly what I'm saying, and I'm talking about something completely different.
Okay.
And it makes me crazy. One of the things that's begun to be more, I can draw things better. So
Okay.
sometimes I can, if I'm sitting here and I'm trying to draw sometimes I can draw a picture of it, and
Mm-hmm.
then I can figure out what it is. I can say,
Okay.
and so that part's kind of weird, and I'm still working at that. And some days it's really good, and some days it's not. Some days I wake up and I'm perfectly fine, and I think, I could do this all day long. And then the next day I'll wake up and I'm exhausted,
Yeah.
and I never know which thing it is.
Yeah. I wish I didn't understand that. The thing about drawing pictures, I think that's interesting. Nova does that too. My youngest daughter. She's an adult now, but she's my youngest daughter. Sometimes she doesn't want to talk or can't really talk. I'm not real sure which that is. Like if she's overwhelmed or she's um we've been out around people a lot for the day and she's just her nervous system is like fried. She
Yeah,
will revert to like writing notes or texting me or instead of being able to talk. Um
yeah,
yeah. She doesn't do pictures, but I could see how that would work pretty much the same way. You just can't use your brain to vocalize things. So
yeah.
I actually think that's really cool, and I'm glad that you found that works.
Well, it's starting to. I keep trying different things. Well, one of the worst things about this is that it's so constant. I have and so I'm really working at trying to, talk and do things that make myself better.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a pain in the rear, and sometimes it's cool. But I like doing it with you. I'm not real happy about doing it with much else, but I like doing it with you.
Well, I'm
Just so
glad.
you know. So
I'm glad. Well, we make each other laugh if nothing else.
that's for damn sure.
Um, is there anything else you want to cover? Do you want to
I
keep
can't,
going?
no, I can't think of anything else. I'm kind of,
Okay.
if people will write us what they want to know, then we can get back on and do it again and have people ask questions.
Okay.
So that would be
Where
good.
where should we have them send questions?
Um, well, they should be able to type it uh, once we put it up, right?
Oh, I gotcha. Yes. Yeah. You mean once we post it,
Yeah.
video. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys have questions, if anybody watching or listening has questions about stroke in general, or about Sally's experience with stroke or cerebral palsy or life in general, Or if you have questions about neurodivergency, autism, any of the things that we have talked about, yeah, drop a comment, and we'll do our best to either answer them in the comments, or we'll come back and talk about them in another episode.
Okay, sounds like a
Sound
plan.
good? Okay. All right. Well, in that case, let's say goodbye to the viewers.
Bye, guys.
All righty.
That's it for today. Sally and Jen will be back next time, assuming nothing goes wrong, which, based on their track record, is a bold assumption. Find them wherever you get podcasts, leave a review, and for the love of everything, keep not dying.